born in 1962. And that is actually the case with another very important guy. No, actually a girl. La Grande, the famous Cuvée de Prestige from Veuve Clicquot. In 1962 the first edition came out, and the style all the way until 1985 was an even stronger, even more masculine, even heavier, even greater version of the famous Veuve Clicquot vintage wine. But in 1985 there was a new winemaker coming from Côte Blanc, a great friend of mine, Monsieur François Peters from Champagne Pierre Peters, with the other guys from there. But his style was more into Blanc de Blanc. He was raised in that style, and he felt that to get a greater success with this Cuvée de Prestige, he wanted to make it lighter, more refined, a little bit more buttery, some kind of more exquisite and finer version of the Veuve Clicquot vintage. So he gradually changed the style bit by bit and came into something like almost a 50-50 blend, where Auger and Le Mesnil were two of the most important pieces. But when Dominique de Marville entered the scene, coming from Mumm, he said, I want to put my own fingerprint on La Grande Dame. And how can I make that? For me, I loved the 75, I loved the 79, and those were made with a very high proportion of Ailly Pinot Noir, Sanssouci, but also a great portion of Verzenay. So when he started to taste the different Vin Clairs, he found out that the style from Vercy and Verzenay was something that I want to accentuate even stronger. So what he did was he started with the Blanc de Noir from the two villages, Vercy and Verzenay, and worked around that as a base. And the final result back in 2008 became a champagne almost being a Blanc de Noir with 90% Pinot Noir and only 10% Chardonnay. So by far the most full-bodied and Pinot Noir driven La Grande Dame ever made. He also made the next one. Not the 9, not the 10, not the 11, but the 2012. Here it is. And I just received one of the first bottles that left the house. La Grande Dame 2012. Great proportions. The same again. So today, if you listen to the winemaker from Veuve Clicquot, it's actually not him who made it, because today is Didier Mariotti, also a very good friend of mine, who has been working at Mumm, and now have changed, and you will hear him speak about this new style. And he have not even told me what the new style will be from when he started. So could we expect the old-fashioned style with the 2/3 of Pinot Noir? Could we go into the almost 50-50 Jacques Peters style? Or will he follow or do something absolutely by himself? We don't know. Anyway, here we have the 2012 La Grande Dame. I'm speaking into the camera, but now I will forget about you, because I want to focus 100% on the champagne. Color-wise, I have strong light here, but it looks as there some greenish notes, which means that it's quite a high proportion of Chardonnay, which is not the case. So I would have been fooled in a blind tasting. It looks more like a 50-50 than a 90-10. Wow, beautiful. Immediately I can say it's more accessible, more open in style than the 08. 08 was a very slow starter, a majestic wine for the future, but still a little bit closed, a little bit too sturdy in its style. Here it's very flirty. I immediately get some brioche notes, some vanilla notes, something of a mix of the old style and the newer version. Actually reminds me a little bit of my first nose ever of the La Grande Dame 79. I don't think that we will see the same majestic development perhaps, but style-wise, that's my first direct conclusion. There's also a lot of hints of lemon, despite the low percentage of Chardonnay. On the palate, here it goes again. A little bit more like the 08, the sturdy Pinot Noir, the very strong minerality from Vercy gives its mark here, and beautifully mineralic, long, sharp, almost sharp, but there is also some sugary notes. Again, very low dosage. I haven't had the figure here, but very, very, very low. Doesn't matter. It's caressing, it's rounded, and you get... There's a lot more to say about this wine, but I stop here right now. Just go and buy it and see for yourself. I will be back with more exact tasting notes in my champagne cup.